Hello there! So today for you I have a speed paint of Yellow Diamond for Steven Universe, and look at that fancy editing already. I wonder who did that? Okay, I took pretty much screenshots from the episode which she was in, and I kind of morphed them all together, and you could see in there was like the background was like a dome thing, I guess, and there was like comets and stuff floating around outside and rocks and whatever. So I did that, and then later on I kind of added a pink to the background, which in hindsight I probably should have put down that first because I kind of smudged everything, but you'll see that later on. Adding colors and shading, not making it too complicated, but I still really like how it turned out. Okay, and I sped this up quite a bit because you can barely see it since the colors are quite faint, but I just used blues, purples, and a little bit of red for her throne chair device that she's sitting in. It kind of looked like it had like a glowing color, I guess, so I kind of made it slightly rainbow. And then later on I'll add some white to make it more of that glowing effect. And now starting her face, which is always my favorite part. And I was so excited to do this because she's yellow, and yellow is like my least used color ever. And I definitely used up a lot of yellows now. And that's probably the only time I will ever use these colors. And also, I really like her character design. Not so much her hair, it's kind of weird. But I really like her facial markings and eyeliner and all that stuff. And later on you will also see, not now, but I draw on her pupils, and she kind of, I didn't notice this until later, but she has like diamond shaped pupils, and I thought that was pretty cool. Adding some lining into her hair so it looks a little more textured, since I don't use too much detail with the paints. And as I'm painting here, I put down a pretty washed out layer of color, and then I add on top of that with more intense colors. And then this is also kind of not too interesting. I pretty much just used the base color of that yellow and added a little shadows. I didn't try to make it too intricate with the shading or anything because her outfit, or whatever you want to call that thing, didn't look too complicated in the show, so I left it as is. And also I noticed she kind of has in the show a more greenish tint from what it looked like, and I used more oranges as the shadow colors, so I thought that would look better. And as for the show goes, I'm really excited to see the rest of the diamonds, see Blue Diamond up close, and then maybe regular diamond if that's a thing, which I'm pretty sure it is. And now adding more detailed shading into her face. Into the hair. Yeah, I wasn't too sure how to draw it to make it look like how it was, because she kind of has 2 points coming out of like the top of her head. That's what the little thing like right above her forehead is. I don't know if that looks exactly how it should be, but I think you get the picture. Now adding the little bit of shading in her clothes. And as you can see right now, the yellow is kind of a pale color, so as I was going, I added a couple layers of like a really bright bright yellow over top of it just to make everything else pop a bit more. Yeah, like you can see here, it's still pretty dull once it dries. Oh, and also I wanted to say that when Peridot called her a Claude, that was like the best thing ever. I think Peridot is my new favorite. Okay, and now I'm doing her little pearl. And I have to say, also with blue diamond pearls, I really like the design of them. They're pretty cute. And I liked her sassiness when she was talking to Peridot. And her facial expressions were the best. I didn't make her too detailed, just really basic. So she's kind of just chilling there in the corner. And you can see right now I'm adding a lot of that first brightest yellow right there. And here it is. Now I'm adding a really washed out pinkish red to the background, which was kind of smudging the blue that was already there and picking it up, but I think it doesn't look too bad. The white definitely made yellow diamond pop out more, but I don't think, like, you can barely see it here, but in real life I don't think it looks too bad either. Now going in with her facial markings. And this is what I was talking about before. She kind of has like those diamond pupils. I thought that was pretty neat. Gave her more of a like a creepy look instead of having the circular ones. Now adding highlights. And there it is. I decided to, of course, outline the whole entire thing in white, which there's nothing really to see. You can barely see it right now. So I'm skipping through that pretty fast. Adding some highlights in her eyes. And now, the cool thing about this, the pen, is that it comes out pretty wet and it takes some time to dry. So what I do is, for highlights, I lay it down, and while it's still wet, I smudge it out with my finger, so it adds cool. It's not quite like a pen, but it's pretty neat. And then, of course, I see my metallic paints laying in the corner, and I see them with my eye, like, you know what, maybe I should add that, and that's where everything goes a little crazy. So you can see I take the gold paint and I water it down quite a bit, and then I add it where I think it should be. And I went a little crazy with this, yes, like I usually do, but it's so much fun and it looks so nice afterwards. And then I decided to put it all over her skin. I don't know if I ruined it or not with that, but I think it looks pretty cool. And especially in her eyes, I think it looked perfect. And then, you know, why not add some silver into her chair as well? And that kind of darkened it up. Right now it's blending in with the background. So I think that was a smart move on my part. And then that is it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Little Pearl.